Good day, happy travelers. Vacation travel hacks here, talking about the MSC Seascape 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise. Leaves from Miami, goes to destinations in no particular order. We got Puerto Plata, Nassau, San Juan, and Ocean Cay Marine Reserve, the private island in MSC. If you're here, that means one of two things. Either one, you're just scouting. You're scouting for cruises, seeing where this one goes, seeing what you can do at these various locations, or you are booked on this and you're here to see, hey, how do we get on the cruise ship? Well, where do we stay? How do we get to the cruise port? And then, of course, we'll talk about free excursion potentials at each port of call. And then we'll review some paid options for excursions at each port of call. And we'll give you some tips on how to close your trip strong. So let's go ahead and get started. You will start at the Port of Miami. That's where your cruise will board, and you got two different options in terms of getting there. And with regards to flying, you got Miami International Airport, and you also have Fort Lauderdale International Airport. It's worth noting that, at least for our trip when we went here in April, it was $250 cheaper to fly to Fort Lauderdale versus Miami. So we chose to do that. We spent the night up there. We always recommend flying a day early, just in case there's airline software issues, staffing shortages, weather, mechanical issues, you name it, you can think of it. It has happened to me in the past year. So flying a day early, worst case scenario, you are in Miami a day earlier, and that ain't too bad. So you're going to have, if you're going into Miami, you'll have lots of lodging around the airport. And also, if you want to stay at South Beach, well, there's lots of lodging on the beach as well. I was originally supposed to stay in Miami. Almost every hotel I called had shuttles, none of which were complimentary. Marriott, Hilton, Choice Hotels were some of the ones that I was looking at. Most of them wanted $12 to $15 per person, which isn't bad, but it wasn't complimentary. But if you have one that's complimentary, hey, that's cool. That's money savings. The transportation time from Miami to the Port of Miami was about 25-30 minutes, and it was a weekend. There was volume. And the closer you got to the cruise port, the more volume there was. And Fort Lauderdale down was 45 minutes. We used SAS transportation. 8 people was $100, and that's not too bad as well. And the lots of hotels around the Fort Lauderdale airport, and the list, it was like 98 hotels that SAS picked us up out of. Otherwise, you're going to end up eventually, through whatever means you choose to use, Uber, Lyft, taxi, MSC cruise transportation from the airport to the cruise port, you're going to end up here. And MSC hasn't built out their own terminal yet. That's going to be down here a little further down in this bigger picture here. So I grabbed the cruise terminal here and blew it up, made it a little bigger. There's digital signage, and it's going to tell you, hey, the Seascape is at this terminal. So they'll drop you off. It's worth noting that the 2 times that I've cruised out of here, the place that we boarded was not the place we got off. So if you're parking your car, having a friend pick you up, or the people you're booking through is asking you for that information, just know it's fluid. You might have to call them to let them know that, hey, I was off at B, I'm up at F. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, you're off and on your way. One of your stops is Puerto Plata. Here's the Puerto Plata cruise port. Is there something free to do here? Yes, there is. You can get off and walk around. You can get a picture over here. You can get a picture over there. Do some shopping. It's fantastic. Great shops around. Otherwise, there's some paid options. And like most of the islands in the Caribbean, you will be probably doing any one of the following. Going around touching the beach, if that's what you want to do. Or maybe you want to just tour the city, and you'll have the opportunity to do that as well. We're going to pull up the handy dandy Puerto Plata MSC excursion search here. And Ocean World is, I've been to many swim with dolphin events and hands-on with, they got a dolphins, sharks, and sea lions excursion here at Ocean World. The water was big. The water didn't stink, unlike some of the other ones where the water is a little smaller. It was a fantastic experience. But if you don't want to play with the animals, you can go and try some different food. You can tour the city. You can do the sea lions there, eat more food, go look at waterfalls. And then the day pass, they have a bird sanctuary there, the top 10 of Puerto Plata. That would definitely be fun as well. So we'll move this little tab over here so we will have it. And we'll move on to Nassau, the Bahamas. You will park in one of these things. I would highly doubt you'd be the only cruise at port that day. You'll probably be at minimum with 2 or 3 others. There is shopping down here, so in terms of free stuff, there's shopping. The only times that I've been here, I like water parks, and so I end up at the Atlantis, and that's kind of what we do. Although when we go back in November, we are going to do something a little different. We're going to pick something from this list here. I don't know what I want to pick yet. So if I hit search, I kind of go through this. I'll be there in November. It's only a couple months away. I can go on various tours. I can get a cabana. Hey, if you're a cabana person and you see a cabana and you know you want a cabana, I encourage you to book them. They go fast. They go first on any carrier that I've ever been on. So whether it was Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, it didn't matter. They were all, they go out. They go first. You want to do a C&C tour, you're in luck. If you didn't get sea lions at the other place, you can get them there. Didn't get dolphins at the other place, you can get them here. You can go get a panoramic tour so you can get your selfies for the gram. And so there's really, there's no wrong way to do it. If you don't want to walk, you don't want to be on the water, you can even get a Jeep. And who doesn't love hanging out in a Jeep? One of your other stops, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Now this, in terms of free excursions, absolutely. You'll get dropped off at one of these terminals here, and you can walk, although I caution, on the map it looked like it was about, I don't know, maybe a mile and a half away. One of the World Heritage sites, this Castillo San Felipe de Moro, beautiful sweeping views of everything, and it was a quick walk, but it was a tropical walk. So I was advised by my family that next time they would just prefer to pay the $60 per person for the bus ride over. I was like, hey, I just saved you guys $500, but no credit where credit need not be due. So anyway, there's so much to do. You got this castle here. If you're like, hey, I just want to walk and find a Starbucks, right around here is a Starbucks, and so there's no wrong way to do it. Otherwise, we can go and look at our excursion list over here, and we'll swap it out from Nassau to San Juan, Puerto Rico. And let's see what options we have. San Juan, there we go. Search. Similar waterfalls. The rainforest, the El Yunque waterfall. You got the La Bamba experience. Then you got sightseeing. They haven't even showed you water yet. El Moro walking tour. See, you can pay to walk. I just took them down and walked, and I didn't even get paid. You got the panoramic tour. So there's a few things, and then if you like eating, there's a taste the culture of San Juan. So there's some stuff to do. If you want to throw money at it, people will they will take your money. Ocean Cay Marine Reserve. This is their private island. You will dock here, and there is ample stuff to do. You want to swim, you want to eat, you want to walk, you want to lounge, you want to they got a light show. This is like a really good private island. As a matter of fact, they even come with a little video. Hey, look at this. There's water and fish. But it's a reserve. Be careful of the stingray. You don't want to get down there. So anyway, there is stuff to do. You can go to the lighthouse. You can look at there's a light show. There's a beach party. All sorts of stuff to do. And then there's you want a cabana. You want a spa. There's no wrong way to do it. So whatever you do, it's going to be great. So final tips and thoughts. On days where there's entertainment, if entertainment is a priority to you, I would consider a more of a anytime dining flexibility as opposed to reserving early or late. We already talked about trying to fly in the day before in the 2 airports that service the Port of Miami. We talked about the shuttles. In terms of flying home, I recommend leaving at noon. If you're leaving out of Miami International, you might be able to do 10 or 11. I don't recommend doing that. And then day one for Kids Club is a good idea. Day two, it's like transferring to schools in the middle of the school year. So I hope that gets you there, and I'll see you in the next video. Travel safe.